guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Skinny.
Today we are super excited to introduce you guys to Erin Haas. She is currently a psychology undergrad in New York City. She is a dancer, she is a model, and she is an aspiring actress. She is also a goddess. We can't wait for you to listen
I want
to
to
this
be a
interview.
goddess. All right, so tune in.
So, what are you doing right now? Are you in school? Are you chilling? What's up?
So currently in quarantine, I'm chilling, but I am currently taking online courses, which started yesterday, just like community college courses, just to finish my general education's courses. And once I do those, then I'll be done with that and can just like focus on my major. And last year, I went to the University of California, Santa Barbara for my first year of college, and I studied psychology there. And I just realized that I really wanted to pursue the creative side of myself, so acting and dancing and art, in addition to psychology. And my acting professor was the one who really encouraged me to transfer, because the opportunities in Santa Barbara are so limited just because it's a small community of just college students. And I was hoping I'd be able to go to LA to model and act, but it's a lot farther than I thought, and like the traffic, it just wasn't possible with keeping up with work. So I decided to apply to NYU on the last day of the deadline. And I got in 10 days later, and then I just accepted it right away. So
Wow. Congratulations.
Now, did you like the school out there, or were you like, it's kind of lame out here?
no, I actually loved California so much. And going there, I knew I might have to transfer just because it's a research institution and the opportunities are limited in respect to my interests. But I definitely just wanted to go for the year and live on the beach and mellow out for a bit, because I'm so like go all the time. So just like learning to be around kids my own age and to have like a real college experience for a year was definitely something I would never go back and change.
So why have you not been around kids your own age? Where does that come from?
Well, just because I knew going to NYU originally, because I did get into NYU off the wait list after I accepted I committed to UCSB. And I decided that if I went to NYU originally, I would be going straight from what I was doing in high school to going and doing the exact same thing, working in an environment with all adults in like a professional environment where it is go, 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 and I do put work first. So while I was in high school, I was also modeling as much as I could, and I was also dancing competitively, so I was very like nonstop. And I would either leave school early or go right after school ended to the train station, and I would take the train into the city and go straight to castings like almost every day. And whenever I got booked, I would just skip school and go to my job instead. And it was really cool. I stayed on top of my schoolwork, so everything was good. And I just went under the line of absencing out, so I was fine. But it was a really cool lifestyle, and like living two worlds, of that of like a high schooler and of an adult in a way, was really awesome, because I did get that like both experiences. But I just decided that I wanted that real college experience, the real like the whole campus like filled with students, like everyone was a student in my town. It was just like a college community, and there weren't adults anywhere, there weren't kids anywhere. It was just like fun on the beach, and it was really cool. And that's something that I'm really happy I got to experience, just because I wanted that year of just a break to really understand like what college is like. But at the same
It was enough.
what
Did you
1
feel
year
like
wasn't
it was enough?
I thought I was gonna stay
You
for
went
2.
hard.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was gonna stay for 2, but then I was thinking about how hard it would be to just like leave after I really got like accustomed. And I really did miss the hustle. I missed working. I really did. I love my job. I love modeling, and I wanted to pursue acting. And I feel like why not go and do what I have been passionate about.
During the end of your high school, did you feel like you fit in with everybody in the high school? Did you feel yourself changing? Was it like a weird, like, because it's kind of weird, you like, putting on your superwoman, costume.
So true. Okay, that's actually funny, because like after Fashion Week, which is like kind of, they have it one in September and one in February. So during those weeks, it's like I just am not a student at all, because it's like I might as well just take off the week and like go in and do what I can. So the week before Fashion Week, I'm in the city all day, going to castings all day. And then Fashion Week, I hopefully, like usually towards the end of my last few ones, I would get booked like every day during Fashion Week. And that was like the craziest week ever of the year. Like I love Fashion Week, and I just am like nonstop. Like it's just show after show after show, and like this adrenaline rush, like 24/7. And you're just like going backstage, like hanging out with everyone, getting ready. Like they're doing your makeup and your nails.
Break that down a little bit. So what happens? Like, what's the process? You get booked. What
So
happens?
yeah, so you go to the castings the week before, and if they like you, they'll book you. You usually come in, and then you go to like you try on the clothes, and then if they like you in it, then you get the job. And so basically you show up about 3 hours before the show. So if it's like a 9 a.m. show, you show up at 6. If it's like night show, you show up, usually it's 3 hours. And there's a makeup room, a hair room, a nail room, and then there's cameras everywhere, like photographers filming everything. It's like really crazy. Like it's just a crazy experience. Like every time I'm there, I'm like, oh my God, how is this real? It's so cool. And you just kind of get glammed up. You sit there, like you go to each station. It's like very hectic. Everyone's like, because like everyone's in a rush. There's a ton of models there. Everyone's trying to organize everyone. And then you just sit and you wait, and you get dressed and someone like dresses you too. Someone's like sitting there like rushing to get your stuff on, because usually you have like 2 or 3 outfits. So you're going on, off, and you change, then you go back on. And it's just a really incredible feeling, just like walking down the runway during Fashion Week. It's like it's like performing. It's like my dance performance. Like when I'm dancing, it's just you kind of don't even know what you're doing. Like you don't remember it. You just feel so good. And
Nervous before you go out there, like you're gonna trip or something? I'd be so nervous I was gonna trip.
just 2 times.
and I would.
Yeah. Yeah, the first few shows, I was so nervous. Like, because they don't tell you what to do either. They just expect it. So when I was like a beginner, I was just like, oh my God. But now I'm like fine. I just get excited about it. Honestly, it's like I'm used to it now, and I'm more afraid of acting stuff now. The acting castings, those freak me out because I'm not used to it yet. So I still get really shaky, but yeah, it's definitely more comfortable for me now. So I'm able to like really enjoy it just because I am confident and comfortable in it.
So when you walk out, so you get your stuff on, you do your walk on the runway, you come back. Is there like you're gonna have like 10 outfits to wear, or like how
so like they assign you during like your when you've tried on your fitting is what it's called. When you go to your fitting, they'll like tell you what your look is going to be, and sometimes they do change it the day of the show, but usually not. So I like know mine, that I have someone who's going to like help me get dressed, and she's assigned to me. So like we have our stuff all in like plastic bags, like hung up with like your comp card on it, so it's like your face is on the outfit, like hung up attached to it. So
cool.
Yeah, that in itself is really cool. And you just walk in, you're like, oh, it's mine. Like
This interview is brought to you by us, Skinny Buddha.
So if you are enjoying this interview, when you're finished watching, make sure you go check out our website, because we've got lots more great stuff going on there for you.
So back to what you were just watching.
Enjoy.
It's a cool feeling.
Okay, so what about the negativity? Any negative stuff happen? Is a girl, tripping you as you're going to get your stuff, or people in? Is it like, is it getting really catty in there?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll see people like looking at each other. I mean, you always check out your competition and anything you're doing, but like honestly, it's been really supportive. Like my agency is awesome. I've met really, really cool people from it, and we have like these holiday get-together parties and just different things. And like I've worked with a lot of the same girls just because I get booked with people who like kind of have a similar look to me. So you like end up seeing the same people at each job, and they're all like blonde and like somehow look like me. And I've just gotten so close to like certain people just from like working with them so much. And it's awesome because like you really do build a community, and the city is so much smaller than you think, and like the modeling community is small, like you see the same faces everywhere. So it's like once you start to see people more and more, it's like then it's like a friendly environment. It's definitely intimidating at first, and when I was like 16 and I had no idea what I was doing, I was like so scared out of my mind. But once you just get used to it and just like I honestly admire everyone around me. It's like you're surrounded by beautiful people, and it's just like cool to look around. And if you just start talking to someone, like they're gonna talk back. It's just that initial breakthrough, I think. But it's like everyone's a little scared, and then you just end up talking, and it's chill.
Okay, so what about we always hear the negative side, like there's like body image stuff and there's pressure to look a certain way. Like what has been your experience so far with all of that?
So there definitely is pressure to like have a model body or to look a certain way, but in my situation, I think I put that more on myself than anyone else putting it on me, because there is a body that fits every single type of clothing that's needed to be modeled. So there's like certain sizes in different showrooms that like someone needs to fit. So I'm not the smallest model. Like I'm not a 00. I'm like a 2-4 dress. So if they're looking for 00s, I wouldn't be selected to go to that casting. So it's like I don't ever go somewhere and don't fit in the clothes because it's there for people who are my size. And if I end up like gaining weight, my agency doesn't say anything. I've definitely like they'll measure you, they won't weigh you, but they'll measure you just because you have to fit into the clothes. And if I do end up being like a little bit like bigger than usual, they don't really say anything. They just change my measurements, and like they're pretty chill about it. But that's stage management. Yeah, they're really supportive of that stuff, and like they accept all different like size models. Like we have Curve, which is like the what's it? What?
Plus size?
Yes. Okay. I was like blanking. It's plus size models. Yeah. So we do have that at our agency, and we have different heights too. So I know that like high end fashion and runway and fashion week, they do require certain heights and certain measurements, but I think it's definitely becoming more progressive and more lenient, and you start to see different people, different like everything, different sizes, just everyone just looks different, and it's like
That's
cool.
good to hear.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
My comp card says I'm 5'10", but I actually went to the doctor today and they said I was like almost 5'9", and I was like, what?
Okay.
So,
We won't tell anyone.
I feel like everyone though, all the models, you like always like there's always at least an extra ½ inch on everyone's card.
That's funny.
And how did you get into like how did the modeling idea start? Did something you always wanted to do? Did somebody see you?
No, yeah, I like would never have envisioned myself modeling. Oh, I actually want to say this before moving on to that question. Getting back to like the whole weight stereotype thing, I was actually way more like insecure about my weight and like my eating habits and everything before I started modeling, and which is like really interesting because I know that a lot of people struggle with it the other way around because of the pressure of it being your job. But for me, at least, like having people tell me that I'm pretty that didn't need to, like having people actually like the way I looked, who like didn't have to owe me that. It wasn't my friends, it wasn't my family. It like gave me the reassurance I needed to actually believe it. And I kind of just took it as like, wow, like it's okay to like love your body. It's okay to love the way you look, because like you are around all these people who some of them are a little too self-obsessed, but it's good. It's you're around people who are confident. You're around people who like the way they look, and it's a type of energy that's encouraging. And it's like I see that I'm like I want to be like that. I want to be confident in myself. I want to walk down the runway and like feel like I look good. And I don't know, it's really helped me with that. I'm able to like actually appreciate the way I look. And before I started modeling, it was hard for me. I didn't see it.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah. But wait, what was the question you asked me?
What did I ask?
How did you get into modeling?
Right. So I was in the Westchester Mall on Black Friday shopping when I was 15, and one of my agents.
I'll take 2 TVs.
I was in Urban Outfitters, and I was just like, so crazy and urban. And this woman walked up to me and was like, hi, like, I know this sounds a little creepy, but like, I'm an agent, like, for state management. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like awkward at the time and like didn't really know how to react. I was with my friend and she was like, oh my God. And she handed me a card and was just like, you can email me and we could set up a meeting. And I had been handed like a few cards at music festivals before that, and one of them ended up being like a scam, and the other one was like Wilhelmina, which is
some creepy guy like, hey.
yeah, well, it's creepy guy, yeah. That does happen a lot. So it's like I was very hesitant, and I was like, all right, like I just did this. I went through the process with something that wasn't real, and like I don't know if this is real, and I kind of just like ignored it. Then I kept the card in my backpack for like months. And then like everywhere I went, people were like, hey, like, do you model ever? And I'm like, no. Like I started hearing that a little bit more, like people asking me that. And I was like, like maybe I should try it. And that's when I just was like talking to my parents and I was like, maybe I should email them. And they're like, yeah, like what do you have to lose? So
The
I
universe
just
was like yelling at you.
do.
The universe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it felt like that in a way. So then I just decided to reach out to her and she was like, oh my God, like we've been waiting for you to reach out. And she was so nice. Her name's Emily. She's like an angel. I love her. And my dad and I went in there and we like went over everything. He discussed everything you could possibly ask. And it seemed awesome. Like they were super sweet and they were great and everything just seemed to work out. And we signed the paperwork right then and there.
Wow.
And then we came home on the train and I just remember like jumping around with my dad on the train. It was like late and nobody was on there. We were like swinging. We were like, oh my God.
Wow. That's
It was
awesome.
so crazy. I was like, how is this real?
Wow.
So how does it differ from like the male side and the female side with the models in personalities and the business?
And personalities. Male models, I like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know. They're just like, I don't know what it is, but like just seeing a man like really like obsessed with himself, I just am like, like but I've definitely
Not a turn on.
what?
Not a turn on.
No, it's honestly but it's like a generalization. Obviously there's generalizations to everything, but I've definitely met a bunch of cool boys and girls, but I would say like the stereotype of a model is definitely still there, and like there are a ton of people who like aren't that educated and like have just like come to do this, and but then there's also people who have like sacrificed so much to like leave their families and come move to New York by themselves because this was their dream, and like they're writers and will blog about it, and I'll read their blogs and be like, wow, like they're literally here alone, like making a life for themselves, and like it's really cool. Like I've met awesome people who are like, a lot of models are also really creative and like working on their own stuff, like their own fashion design and or photography. Like a lot of models bring their cameras backstage and like take photos themselves.
Cool. I would never have thought that.
Yeah, it's like a really cool environment. It is a creative environment because you are kind of creating every time you model. It's like it's acting in some way. Like you have to be present, and it's a lot more work than you would think. It's like you really do have to be there and alert and like happy and awake and rest. Like, you have to be rested and yeah, it's a lot. But I've met really great people, and I'm like really happy to go to the city and be able to like reconnect with everyone.
Awesome.
Are most of the models also actors? Is it like 50%? Is only a few of them? Is there a big crossover?
I think there's like a decent amount of crossover. Like I know a few that one of my friends, she was on Hawaii Five-0. She was like a model and she's also a dancer. I feel like the whole dancing, acting, modeling community is intertwined. Yeah, I have a lot of modeling friends who also dance just because it is really helpful if you do have like a knack that like can benefit you in modeling. So one of my friends, she's a surfer, and like putting that as a model is really helpful because then any surfing company that needs a model is like she gets that job. So I guess there is a lot of people also play sports though, so it's like a wide variety of many different types of people, but
so
there is
that brings us to how do you feel fitness plays into the whole modeling community? Or And how has it been for you? Like, has it had a place in your life before modeling? Is it more prevalent now that you are modeling?
Yeah, it's way more prevalent now. Like I do the eating thing, I think that I've learned how to manage that in a way that it's like I've just accepted I have to like eat when I'm hungry and like eat when I'm craving something. I got to do it like or else it just isn't for me. And I know a lot of models who also eat whatever they want. It's like genetics. A
Right.
lot of them it's just genetics. Like they're sticks and like we'll go have lunch after and like people will stuff their faces with pizza and burgers and I'm like what. So like it's definitely like some people you can tell also like watch their weight in an unhealthy way, but I feel like a lot of it is genetics and a lot of them are just skinny without even having to work out. So but looking at like a lot of people's Instagrams who I'm friends with, like everyone's really into fitness. It seems like everyone goes to the gym every day or goes on runs. And like one of my friends is actually an Equinox trainer. So everyone's into fitness of some sort, or like yoga, Pilates. It's a lot on Instagram with promotion of like fitness and modeling. But I didn't work out before I started modeling. I only danced, but I would dance every day. So it was like, Alexa. It was definitely a workout. But once I stopped dancing, especially like senior year, and I danced a little bit less, and then last year I danced a little less, I really started getting into fitness. So now I go on runs every day, like 2 to 3 miles every day, and then I work out after. And since the gyms are closed, I've been using the Kira Stokes app, which my mom has. So I've just been hopping on hers. And
Yeah.
have you seen her?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's ripped. So my mom just has been doing that lately on her lives. So I just like join with my mom.
Oh,
So
That's cool.
or like so I've just been working out with my neighbor. Just like I've been trying to stay fit.
What about as far as Instagram and modeling? Like, are you guys allowed to use that personally? Do you have to like have the agency kind of dictate what you do on Instagram? How does that work?
So my agency, again, I think they're special in this way. They're really, really lenient about a lot of things, and they don't dictate my Instagram at all. But I was interning for a fashion brand last summer, and I remember like talking to the guy who did marketing, and he was just talking about like how important it is to promote myself and how the posts that I was posting was very like personal and should not have been my like modeling page, and that I should have like 2 separate ones. And once I took like that insight from him, like I was able to grow my Instagram a little bit more. And he made me delete a lot of stuff that was just like really silly posts, and I was like, all right, fair. And then I started posting more of my modeling stuff, which I definitely held off on until I was like towards the end of high school. I think that was more just because I wasn't ready to publicize everything. Like I didn't know where I was going with it, and I just didn't post as much as I do now about it, which is it's just how it is. But that's definitely allowed me to grow more. And like he taught me how to hashtag and how to grow your page. But I would definitely say I'm not that great at it. Like once I went to college again, living like my regular college life, I started to post a little bit more normally. But next year, once I get back into it, I might have to archive those and start posting my modeling again, just because a lot of brands do contact you through Instagram. Like a lot of designers ask for your Instagram handle if they're gonna like ask you to come to the casting and they want to see your photos. So it's a really good promotional way to get yourself out there.
What do you hate about modeling? Everything so far has been really nice. What can't you stand? Like, ugh.
Okay, let's see. There's like the
Male
superficiality.
models, right?
What?
Male models, right?
Male models. No, I'm kidding. But I don't like how sometimes you are treated like a human mannequin. That doesn't happen often, but there are definitely times when like people are busy or in there and like you're just there to be the model, and like they don't ask you about yourself. They don't want to hear about yourself. They just want you to be there, put on the clothes, but like poke earrings in your earring holes and like shove. And I'm just like, oh my god. And you're standing there like naked and like they're just dressing you and shoving clothes on you, and it's just like it's not comfortable, and I hate those types of jobs. I've had to do like a few of those, but most of them have been really cool, and like most of them on set, like I've connected to like my makeup artists and like still talk to them, and if they need like a favor and they need a model, like they'll talk to me and reach out, and like it's a good promotion for both of us. And the photographers I've worked with have all been super kind, like nobody's been creepy or like have overstepped boundaries with me, so I've never ran into anything where I felt uncomfortable. And if I did, I would say something, and usually they'd like, if I didn't feel comfortable changing, they'd be like, oh, you could go here in the closet. Or so if you just have to speak up and advocate for yourself. But just that one job where I just felt like I just was standing there and they were trying everything on, that one was not enjoyable. And I know models do feel like that often, and it's just, and like also what I don't like about it is that I can't really do what I want with my body, with like earrings and like tattoos, which is like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I work more as like the girl next door look is what they call me. And I do a lot of like smiling and jumping and like the Target ads, like that kind of stuff. And it doesn't really match my personality. Like I just wish that I could
feel like I was just watching the Target ad when you were just doing that just now. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how my jobs usually go. But I just wish that I was shown in both sides of who I am. Like I do have like that girly fun side, but then I also have like the edgy, like punky side. And like actually one of the jobs I've gotten that was like that rock and roll like vibe was I was found on the street. Like someone walked up to me on the street and was like, I want you in my show. And it's because I was dressed like myself, and I was wearing like my leather boots and my leather pants and my jacket, and like I looked like myself, not like the way they portray me. And it was awesome because I got that job, and it was like I got to walk down the runway with a rock and roll in the background wearing like studs and leather, and I was like so happy.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely do more like pretty stuff. So I wish that I could like say what I wish I could choose which pictures I could show myself as.
You like that content, huh? Well, guess what?
Go over to our website, www.myskinnybuddha.com, and you can see the full video. Plus, there's lots more food, fitness, and interviews for you to check out over there.
Hurry up, get over there.